Hey everyone, it's Matt. I wanted to say hey, just because well, it's been a while, and I also wanted to give you kind of the heads up to the refurbishment, updating of the Writers on Writing interview series and associated media, including the website. That's kind of why I did that, right? Because the surrounding adjacent website property relative to where this video widget is going to land in your field of view. More likely than not, you're experiencing this in the contextualizing blog post of sorts, part of the overall, I guess, educational technology orientation that's sort of moving in the background of what is ostensibly meant to be a literary sort of, I guess, conversation series. And again, this was something, the video at the very beginning, and to scroll all the way down to the bottom, which provides a bit of an overview of the original concept for this uh, particular website and format and everything else. It was, in the first instance, aligned with my professional development plan for my role as a communications instructor and English professor at Keanu College within the university studies and business department. There have been significant staff reductions at Keanu College, 70 to 90 within local media reports. No reason to believe otherwise. I'm among those. My 2-year contract was collapsed into a 1-year contract, and therefore I've been paid out for a certain amount of severance relative to, a no-fault contract ending. And I guess I don't really have more to say to it than that. Again, except to emphasize, I guess in the first case, that I really, really had an excellent time at Keanu. Everyone I worked with, the chair, the associate dean, other colleagues, were all stellar to the highest degree, excellent, capable people. I trust the permanent staff who will be remaining in most cases. Again, I just like to shout out people. I won't list specific names. I hope you are watching this. I hope you know who you are. I felt entirely supported throughout the entire year. I was looking forward to hopefully working there longer. But again, such is the case of a contract academic employee. I understand. I've been in the post-secondary industry for close to 20 years. I know how it goes. And again, I have absolutely nothing but good to say about all the students, fantastic, brilliant students, in fact, as well as wonderful colleagues and great people at the institution. It's my sincere hope that perhaps our paths will cross again. Who knows where we may end up in 3, 5, or more years, right? It's a long career and it's a long time, particularly in times such as these, I might say, where news cycles and political events and the like are really even accelerating faster than what they were up until last year. It seems like we've entered a new era in terms of our media and political and other, kinds of culture. Not speaking to that here, because I think really the best thing that this show can accomplish is in really fraught political and rhetorically heated, hyperbolic, internet heavy kind of times is to have conversations about things that are awesome. So, to that end, this writing series is certainly going to continue, this writing interview series, I should say. And I've actually found a fair amount of content from some other projects. I'll save the wheres and the whys and the whats for another time, but I have some pretty good, I think, related and adjacent content from going back even to my time at Thompson Rivers University. So we're talking back in 2021, even in terms of WordPress posts and things like that, that I am potentially looking to reconstitute within this Writers on Writing, because a lot of the people that I was involved with not just to Thompson Rivers, but subsequently, I've got a fair amount of, again, interview and the like, including written interviews and some things. So I'm planning on reaching out to people to see if they're okay with activating some of this older content, which is no longer available, or potentially even spinning that into some new conversations and or collaborations. My general feeling with this stuff, this media ecosystem that we have, is that it is preferable, I think, to try and take the best advantage of your existing content. In this case, my existing content that I have access to is in the form of asynchronous interviews, video kinds, for instance, as well as written formats of varieties, and various kind of multimedia tie-ins, H5P objects. Just again, I won't get into the ed tech kind of aspects of it, but there's room, I think, within this endeavor to take some of that content and sort of make it fresh again, and then sort of move the whole thing forward. So I guess I'll wind it down because in true English teacher fashion, I've gone longer than I intended to. My background here is consisting of a Expedia.ca, the travel website, one of their images of the Kelowna waterfront kind of water park area. I love Kelowna. Kelowna and St. John, New Brunswick are my two favorite cities in Canada, and therefore anywhere that I'm interested in living. I'll give Toronto and the surrounding area a close third, but all things being equal, I'm really stoked to now have this opportunity to relocate to BC, to Kelowna, which is within 3 hours of where my kids are. I'm really looking forward to seeing my teenage kids again because I haven't really seen them on the day-to-day for, at this point, more than 2 years. Or pretty darn close. So for me, this is an awesome opportunity. I'm feeling really stoked, psyched and stoked, and all those other good things about where this interview series is going to go. I think we already have some awesome things just recorded and presented already. It's just going to continue. And I guess as far as it goes, there's another music-related conversation series sort of springing up in parallel to this as Dan Hayward, my awesome colleague on the Today New Brunswick Tomorrow the World podcast, he and I have decided that between the two of us and how we're positioning ourselves and how we're extended and various other personal factors, which frankly nobody else needs to know about, we've decided to kind of put a pin on that where it currently is. We have one episode which we may sort of let into the world in a certain way that's sitting there, or it just may kind of be something that is finished as it is. But in any case, it's been awesome. We may choose to reactivate at a certain point. But for now, that music kind of podcast show is on an indefinite hiatus with no prejudice against that in any way, shape, or form. The website is going to remain up there. There's nothing to keep it for people with engaging with it as much as they want to in all the ways that it currently is. And I guess the spinoff from that being that I've recontextualized the interviews. I've taken the interview parts out of that show. I haven't properly taken them out. I cloned the entire website and then chopped everything from the website except the interviews. So now there's basically a offshoot of the original website existing as a reformatted clone. That's what it is. I mean, that's just the jargon associated with WordPress. And thereabouts now, it is active as a music podcast series, but it's the interview, right? I'm gonna basically save pop culture and I don't know, like what I'm listening to now and those kind of notes more for the Substack. So again, just kind of in advance of moving to Kelowna, I'm kind of just getting the platforms refurbished, as it were, right? So again, at this point, there's this Writers on Writing, which I hope people are enjoying. I hope people continue to make use of. I think it's still very, very early, and I think it's got tons of potential to really just turn into something even cooler than it already is. Educational and commercial purposes, right? Wouldn't want to pretend otherwise. And then, we have the ongoing and rad Ed Non-Tech podcast. We're taking the summer break. We're reconvening in September. But again, in the meantime, I'm kind of moving behind the scenes, going to be updating the theme for the WordPress, making sure it's contemporaneous, making sure it's current as it needs to be. And again, I really think with the amount of content we have there, that turning that into a book or some other kind of multimedia offshoots, academic, commercial, or otherwise, is certainly not off the table at all. That's actively something we're looking into, for sure, during the off season, as it were, which is kind of falling under my purview as a producer of the enterprise, as far as these things go. And then there's now this music conversation series. I've got the technology format for the interview series across both of them down pretty well at this point. I'm using the same format, right? Instructional design, training for the win. It's all just really copy, paste, edit, and iterate all the way through. And so that ensures a sort of consistency of feel, of interface, and sensibility across multiple projects. And this is something that I've been pretty intentional about since the get-go, right? Since I started doing a master's degree in the instructional design and curricular areas back in 2008, when I first got out of my BEd degree and into the MEd space, right? So I have been doing the e-learning and curriculum thing for basically as long as I've been a professional teacher, which at this point we're 15 years plus into that at this point. May, this very month that we're in now, is the 19th year. It marks the 19th year that I have been a teacher. It's when I went to Korea and started teaching English. So I think it's appropriate to now be entering a new era, as it were. Boy, this went really long. Thanks for checking any of this out. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.